Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. If you need help with anything, check out fundingvalue.com, where I dive deeper into all these topics, sectors, looking for investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everyone in the community. Uh, we have a special going on. Special is the coupon code. You can use it for both the monthly and yearly memberships, and you can see those discounts in the description link below if you'd like to sign up. We have a Q&A session coming up this weekend, 5 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. All right, let's dive in, see what's going on today in the markets. Starting with the DXY, everything looks good to go higher in this DXY. I know we went lower here in the past week and a half, but I view that as more or less a falling flag wedge pennant formation. We did get some buying pressure off the bottom here, why there's a wick at the bottom, and we'll see if the return coming up off that bottom is strong enough to have a trend reversal. It looks like it's kind of early to say that, but there's the pullback there as we're pulling on back, and we're just in a little flag formation, something like that. It's downward facing, which generally means we are still in the uptrend. So we were down in the dollar today with, in my opinion, the longer term outlook still looks good to go higher. Yields are up today. So we had a weaker dollar and stronger yields. Yields up 0.93%. And again, I think we're gonna try to go higher. That's my guess. And then we're going to try to break out of this to the upside. To the upside. The reason I say upside is because we entered it from this tide up. Consolidation is falling. You can see where we started here and ending. That's a falling wedge. And we're squeezing up into that corner. We are getting decent buying pressure through here and small selling pressure. That generally tries to push higher. The 10-year yield's up 1.43. We've broken the downtrend here. And we've got some decent looking candlesticks to try to work our way on up. And again, that's in a consolidation, just like the 2-year yield. There it is consolidating. And I do think it's going to try to eventually break to the upside because of how we entered. Up, consolidation, and that usually is a continuation one on up. We've got the 30-year up 1.18. It's also in a right or ascending triangle is what they call it. And a pretty big candlestick today, up 1.18% today. We had TLT bond prices are heading lower. We had a rising wedge and my awesome little drawing in there of what I guessed, and it was only a guess. Do not hold me, do not hold these short-term market guesses against me. But we had a little bit of a rising wedge breakout to the downside. The 2 and the 10, we had a little bit of yield curve uninversion today, but it's not a reversal candlestick. We're still in this big rectangle chopping, and to me, this looks like we're going to go higher. Falling wedge, slowing down, broken downtrend line, another downward facing pattern here, and a breakout upwards. Those all signal higher, not lower. So the yield curve could invert again, or reinvert, I should say. QIX TNX ratios down a little bit. Not much tailwinds behind gold from the yields perspective, but the dollar was down. I wouldn't have guessed that gold would have been down $45 an ounce. It's not a reversal candlestick. The uptrend is still intact. We can zoom in. We can see if it did break anything. Kind of a crazy looking deal there. People are going to jump on this. Oh, it's a shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. It does look a little bit weak in the short term, like maybe we still have a little bit left. But Looks okay. It's not a reversal candlestick, and momentum still to the upside at this time. Silver down 2.36. This thing was ripping, got a little bit of resistance up here, and we'll see if we can punch through. If not, we could cycle back down. Um, Something like that is possible if we get follow through to the downside, but we don't have that yet. We're up against resistance. We'll see if we can break through or not. There's the short term. Still looks a little bit weak in the short term. Platinum, right at resistance. Definitely got hit in the face here at that resistance as we did sell off throughout back half of the day. Still looks a little bit weak in the short term. Right. And that's what I'll say there, are up against resistance. And then palladium's down 4%. This one looks a little bit better. We've got this kind of squeeze breakout, and maybe we got a retest down here. That's definitely possible there in the short term. XCU to gold ratio, gold and silver mining companies getting some nut kicks, pulling on back today. Could see some follow through to the downside. Looked like a lot of the selling pressure ended towards the closing price today on some of the companies, and some of them were putting in bearish engulfings. We could see some follow through to the downside in the short term. So GDX, there's our selling pressure today. It doesn't look horrible because this here, what precedes it, this front half here, that's all trying to bottom and turn higher. But we just got some resistance today. So we'll see if there's any follow through or if we just consolidate sideways. GDXJ, again, we gapped higher and sold throughout the day. The momentum is down. We could consolidate or do something like that. Longer term, we're coming on up. We kind of had this pattern there, broke out of that, and now we've got a little bit of resistance right where we're at. SILJ, yeah, it's doing the same thing. This is your consolidation breakout, and then we're getting some resistance right where we're at with a bearish piercing / engulfing candlestick. They're very similar candlesticks. Crude oil up 0.32% today. That is, this is after a pretty strong selling pressure day yesterday. So we'll see if there's follow through to the downside here, or if we can consolidate here for a little bit. TTF gas getting sold off a little bit. Is this the slingshot where we do a false breakdown and slingshot higher? Only reason I'm asking that question, it's twofold actually. Falling wedge, and then we've got momentum going sideways. So usually at the ends of these, sometimes you get a washout and then you get a move higher. I don't know if that'll be the case, but that would be my guess. I'm also seeing strength in natural gas Henry Hub to the upside. That's broken to the upside. So natural gas in America breaking to the upside, TTF breaking down. I don't know about that. We'll see. But there it is, breaking to the upside for natural gas in America. Looking good. Boy, XOP, yeah, you know me, holding steady, which is a good thing today because I did see a lot of selling pressure across the board, across a whole bunch of different sectors, lots of selling pressure. This is a win when you're down 0.1% and holding. Not a lot of selling pressure there. Keep that in mind. OIH down 0.55, it's holding on. And we've got these lows. They're coming on up here. It looks good. And we're creating higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. So that's all intact. Newcastle coal futures down slightly, still underneath and still squeezed between resistance and support. Still looks good from that big long term. Again, the base, breakout, the retest. And I like my retests. I like buying them. Physical uranium trust down 1.7%. We're back to that support area. That's holding. You can see some buying pressure came throughout the day too. Uranium futures pricing shopping sideways. Looking okay. Nothing bad or horrible here. URA getting some stronger selling pressure down 4.8%. We did see some selling pressure across the board in technology stocks, S&P 500. I don't think it's anything unique to URA. But we did get some selling pressure there. Uranium also getting some selling pressure there. Still above support, guys. We've got lots of support underneath us. URNJ also some selling pressure. We've got stronger support through here. And we got support through here too. There's a whole bunch of support right where we're at and underneath us. Nickel is up 3% today, skyrocketing higher. Could we see a big move here? I'm waiting for it. Sure looks good for it to do that. It's set up for it. Copper's down about 1%. But this still looks like a flag pattern. Still looks good to go higher. I don't see any big selling pressure. We're up against resistance. And then when we break here, guys, I think we're going to rip. I think we're going to rip. We're going to rip on higher here with time here. I'm just waiting for it. COPX, surprisingly, getting some more selling pressure versus some of these other days. We are sitting on top of this structure. So there's the flag pattern here. We broke out and we're still above it. So there's nothing to worry about here at this moment. We'd have to see follow through. It is a bearish engulfing candlestick here. One engulfing the one before it. We have to see follow through. Patience here. Let's see what happens. Lithium's up 2.2, bucking the trend. That thing's ripping. In an uptrend still. Looks good. REMX up 1.5%. And that's broken out of its falling wedge to the upside. That looks good to continue higher. REMX and Lithium share a lot of companies. So wherever Lithium, I think, goes, rare earths kind of grow because a lot of the companies are shared between the two ETFs. Iron ore down slightly. We're at support. We'll see if it holds. Could this be like a flag pattern, bearish flag pattern? It could be. It could be. I'm not saying it can't. We'll see what happens if there's any follow through here to the downside in the short term. Longer term, we've broken this to the upside, though. So even though we could go down, I still think we could move higher on the longer time frame. Aluminum's down a little bit. That's been flagging out, still flagging, consolidating. Looks good, though. Looks good. We're sitting on top of all of this stuff here. And we broke out. There was a reason we broke to the upside. So looks good. We've got Baltic Dry Index down about 2%, still flagging out. Still flagging out in that little section there. Emerging markets down a little bit. We're up against resistance. We have not broken out yet. Doesn't mean we won't. We're just waiting for it. We're waiting for it. But we did get a little bit more selling pressure today. Moo also selling off a little bit. I'm in the camp that this is putting in a right-hand shoulder. So it's a shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, and we're waiting for this to break. KRE down 1.2%. I know we were at some resistance support area. We'll see if there's follow through there. There could be, though. So whenever you drop real fast like this and you struggle to come back up, that is generally a where you could get some downside out of this. So think of it as like a flag pattern, something like this. So we came on down and then we consolidated here and then break downward. That's what I mean by that. XHB getting some selling pressure here. We are looking on the weaker end. You know, this is the lows here. Or I mean the highs coming down and then the lows. So we are kind of trending lower here. Not a ton of selling pressure, but there is selling pressure. So it can go either way here. There it is. We're kind of in the upper end over here. And we could. There very well could drop. And I hope it does. You can get me a good entry. We've got Russell down 2.77. That's a big candlestick. You know, there's some selling pressure here that is occurring up here. The green candlesticks are getting a little bit smaller. The reds are getting a little bit bigger. Could we sell off here? Possible. It is possible. We've got the S&P also selling off 1.66. Now we're getting some big reds showing up. The big reds are showing up and the greens are tightening up a little bit. You can see they're smaller than the reds. We'll see if that continues. NASDAQ's also down about 2.3%. We're at support. We'll see if it holds. This has been, this has been weird. We've had a lot of squeeze up here. That's a pretty bearish looking move there. And here we are getting some big selling pressure all through here. Dow Jones Transportation, some selling pressure today. Most everything sold off today, so not too surprised by it. But we have broken through a lot of stuff. This kind of looks like a shoulder head shoulder breakout, and then we've consolidated and then we've broken out. So that looks bullish from that time frame. We just had a little bit of selling pressure today. XLI down 1.55, still in this rectangular garbage area. Delete that out. Still chopping sideways. SMCI, I haven't really been talking about this, getting a lot of selling pressure here. Now this could, I've got all this stuff here. Probably better just do this. This could be a downward move. So this sold off. And then you can see we consolidated here. It's upward facing. We could see this follow through to the downside. Very, very possible here for SMCI. Does not look very bullish. NVIDIA also selling off 3.6%. It's still holding on. It's still holding on at the moment. We're not breaking. So I'm looking for like new lows. You kind of come up through here, or you can draw it through here. I don't see like fresh lows coming, so at least not yet. So it's still holding on. Bitcoin's down 3.4%. I talked about this yesterday that this could be a bearish setup. It's an inverted flag pattern, and that we could see a follow through, which we did. We're seeing some selling pressure here, and when you look at this on logarithmic, it looks a little bit more scary. As we've come on up, this is a downward facing bullish setup. Come on up, coming on up. You're also looking at the compression of the moves. These are compressing and compressing and compressing. Buyers are starting to equal to sellers. Then you turn, and then at the turn, you get bigger selling pressure candlesticks. And then you get upward facing patterns. So this could be the top, maybe. We'll see if there's follow through. Ethereum also selling off quite heavily. I happened to try to guess this and looked like I guessed okay. We came on up, we didn't break through that resistance area, and we sold off. It actually sold off today. There it is. There's my down candlestick. That's what I drew in there. I drew it in there right here, and I said, look to see if you come up kind of slow and then sell off, which it did. Now, I didn't draw it perfect, but it was close. Yeah, selling off there, and we could see follow through to the downside. Also, you go on logarithmic. This is what it looks like on log. Looks like we've got this gigantic ascending wedge. I don't know if this is a rising wedge. You throw it up like this, or if this is an ascending wedge where you hit and your lows keep coming on up. Maybe. We'll see how this plays out. Now, if Bitcoin drops, more than likely Ethereum's probably going to drop. But I don't know. Again, I'm not stating that's what I'm thinking. I'm just showing you guys some of the patterns, and we'll see how this plays out. But we're getting selling pressure here in the short term. MicroStrategy also selling off 7%. Is that Batman? Look at that Batman guy. It could be. It could be. Definitely looks kind of Batman-ish to me, and we'll see if there's follow through to the downside. Could this get ugly? Eesh. Yeah, it could. It could. It could get very ugly. The VIX is also spiking today, up 14%. There's the spike today. A little bit of volatility today. But that's all I've got for today, guys. So give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Special is the coupon code. We have Sunday Q&A session coming up at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You can ask me whatever you like. Whatever you like. Could be about anything. Could be about anything financial related. But that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time, guys. See ya.